In today's video, we're going to discuss the real reasons why wrestling is struggling to stay relevant today. Why fans are turning away from the product and what we can do to fix it. There was a time when wrestling was one of the most popular forms of entertainment in the world. It was a cultural phenomenon that transcended age, gender, and social class. But these days, it seems like wrestling is struggling to stay relevant. The ratings are down, the crowds are smaller, and there's a general feeling that wrestling is on its last legs. So what happened? Why did wrestling go from being the hottest ticket in town to being an afterthought? And what can be done to save it? It's no secret that wrestling has been on a decline in recent years. Attendance at live events is down, TV ratings are at an all-time low, and merchandise sales are not what they used to be. There are a lot of factors that have contributed to this decline, but we can sum them up into 6 main reasons. Number 1. Too many wrestling matches. One of the biggest complaints that fans have about modern wrestling is that there are simply too many matches. Wrestling fans are a passionate bunch and they love their product. But even they have to admit that sometimes there are just too many matches on the card. When this happens, it can be tough for new fans to get invested in the product because they don't want to spend 3 hours watching wrestling matches. This is especially true for women's wrestling. Women's matches tend to be shorter than men's matches, but they're still usually longer than what fans want to see. And that's frustrating. Seriously. Number 2. Segments and storylines are becoming a rarity. In the past, segments were a staple of wrestling programming. They gave fans a chance to connect with the wrestlers on a more personal level, and they also helped to build up storylines. These days, segments are few and far between. Instead, we're being treated to endless wrestling matches and backstage segments that have nothing to do with the actual wrestling. This is not only boring, but it also makes it hard for new fans to get invested in the product. Without engaging storylines, it's hard to care about what's happening on screen. Number 3. Wrestlers acting like darlings. Another thing that fans have noticed about modern wrestling is that the wrestlers seem to be less tough and more like indie darlings. This is not to say that wrestlers should be allowed to be vicious and malicious, but there is a fine line between that and acting like a tough guy. When wrestlers start acting like they are better than their opponents or like they are too good to lose, it becomes hard for fans to take them seriously. As a result, these wrestlers end up coming across as less tough and more like spoiled children. Number 4. Less kayfabe.
You know what this is right here? And then crushing. Real glass. Don't cry me a river.
Kayfabe is the term used to describe the characters that wrestlers portray. It's also the term used to describe the storyline that wrestlers are a part of. In the past, wrestlers were encouraged to stay in character at all times. These days, wrestlers are often encouraged to break kayfabe. This can be for comedic effect or to further a storyline, but it can also be done for no apparent reason. When wrestlers break kayfabe, it can be jarring for fans. It can also make it hard to suspend disbelief and enjoy the product. After all, if we know that the wrestlers are just actors, it's hard to believe that they're actually fighting each other tooth and nail inside the ring. Number 5. Too much hardcore wrestling.
Oh my God!
Hardcore wrestling is a style of wrestling that emphasizes violence and brutality over technical skill. While some fans enjoy this style of wrestling, it's not for everyone. In the past, hardcore wrestling was relatively rare. These days, it seems like every other match is a hardcore match. This can be off-putting to new fans who are not interested in seeing blood and guts everywhere. And finally, number 6. Too many wrestling shows. With the advent of cable TV, more wrestling shows have been produced than ever before. This gave wrestling fans more options to watch, but it's also diluted the product. When there are too many shows, it's difficult for any one show to stand out. As a result, wrestling has become more of a background activity that people watch while doing other things. It's no longer the main event that it once was. So what can be done to save wrestling? If you're a fan of wrestling, you've probably noticed that it's in trouble. The crowds aren't as big as they used to be, and the TV ratings are slipping. So what's going on, and how can wrestling be saved? The first step to saving wrestling is to address the issues that are driving fans away. That means cutting back on the number of matches, bringing back segments, getting rid of the too-good-to-lose wrestlers, encouraging wrestlers to stay in character, and toning down the violence. Once those issues are addressed, we need to promote wrestling to a new generation of fans. That means making wrestling more accessible to families and younger viewers. If we can make wrestling more mainstream, then more people will be interested in watching it. Do you agree with the points I made in this video? Let me know in the comments below. If you're a wrestling fan, what do you think is wrong with the product today? How can it be fixed? Thank you for watching.